Breaking news, Matt Gaetz has just withdrawn his nomination to be the Attorney General of the United States under a Trump administration. Predictable, regrettable, but it tells you what you're up against on Capitol Hill and elsewhere. He was destroyed by the leftist media, as they tried to destroy President Trump. For anybody who ever doubted, and it's only on the left, that the legal system has been weaponized, that Congress has been weaponized, that various institutions in this country have been weaponized against conservatives, libertarians, those who believe in the vision and creation of our founding fathers. This is just another example. But this is also important because people had hoped that someone would be put at the Justice Department that would have the guts to put a torch to it peacefully and legally. That's probably unlikely now. There's nobody in Washington, or for that matter, around the country, who has the guts to take these forces on. Whether it's the Department of Justice itself, whether it's the FBI, whether it's the CIA, NSA, the deep state that will seek to destroy you. I am not afraid. Larry Klayman is not afraid. Freedom Watch is not afraid. This country comes before personal interest, and it should for all Americans and you supporters. So you have my pledge that we are now going to proceed with our citizens' grand juries. We'd have done that in any event. In 1992, as I've said many, many, many times, Justice Antonin Scalia, the late great Antonin Scalia, issued a majority opinion in a case United States versus Williams, where he found the grand jury belonged to the American people, not the three branches of government. We have used this in the past. We indicted Biden in our citizens' grand juries, tried him, convicted him. He got 20 years for bribery from communist China, Ukraine, and Russia. Also for negligent homicide in Afghanistan, creating a condition for the death of 13 of our servicemen, our brave servicemen at Kabul airport, and then killing 10 of our Afghan allies, including 7 children, including a 3-year-old, because he wanted to look tough as the whole place was collapsing in Afghanistan, and he had killed those GIs with his negligence. We also indicted Anthony Fauci. We convicted him. He got 20 years in prison. Life in prison. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, is that we have the power, the American people, to mete out justice. It is now time that, particularly with regard to the district attorney, the Soros-financed and elected district attorney in New York City, Alvin Bragg, this 100 pounds of you-know-what in a 50-pound bag, bloated to the maximum. He's bloated in his brain, too. But he's an ultra-leftist. And he wants to proceed with the prosecution of President Trump, of which President Trump was wrongfully convicted with regard to matters in New York City, alleged, fraud and everything else. It had no basis in fact or law. He's going to keep that hanging on top of President Trump until he leaves office. This is a political stunt, but he also misused the legal system. He violated his oath of office. Bragg, we will seek his indictment. We will seek his conviction. We will seek his sentencing, and we'll seek to have him put away for the rest of his miserable life. The same is true of Biden, this time life imprisonment, second offense. Biden, Harris, and Mayorkas are responsible directly with their criminal negligence or intentional conduct in allowing criminals to run across our border, one of which killed Laken Riley in Georgia. It's not enough that that criminal has been sentenced to life. It's now time that Biden, Harris, and Mayorkas get life sentences as well. And if that's not bad enough, we have the complete leftist hack of an attorney general, Merrick Garland, who spent huge resources persecuting peaceful January 6th protesters to send a message. And he was assisted in that with the FBI director, a chameleon, frankly, a loser by the name of Christopher Wray, who's going to be losing his job, by the way, as well. Trump's going to get his, excuse the French, ass fired. But the fact is, these people should be prosecuted as well. They also need long sentences. Take them out of circulation. Because if you don't, they're going to be out there doing stuff in the private sector. They're going to be millionaires now working for big, fat, Democrat leftist law firms in Washington, D.C. They should spend their time in a prison. And then there are the judges like Tanya Chutkan and others who tried to do a number on Trump, who had no basis, who in fact intimated in prior cases that she was going after Trump, totally conflicted. But she's one of many. These judges on the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia in particular and the D.C. Circuit are ultra leftists. And if they're not ultra leftists, they're Rhino Trump appointees he didn't know he was appointing. The names were put in front of him by lobbying groups such as the American Conservative Union and Federalist Society. They made money off of doing this in all likelihood. These people need to be removed as judges. And that's why, quite apart from our citizens' grand juries, and you have my pledge that we will carry through with that, and we will seek convictions, and we will get sentences, and we'll seek to mete them out peacefully and legally, is that you need Larry Klayman to run a legal system advisory task force for President Trump so he can appoint good judges, so we can reform the legal system. Because the legal system, as I've said in the last two podcasts, is corrupt from the top to bottom. It's the most corrupt profession in the United States. It's the most corrupt system in the United States. And this is why the American people, seeing this with the lawfare that was tried against President Trump, reacted with a landslide victory on November 5th of this year. You've got bar associations in New York and the District of Columbia, particularly District of Columbia, run by political leftist hacks, Hamilton Fox and Julia Porter, disciplinary apparatus that have tried to eliminate conservative lawyers, Republican lawyers, and other activists that believe in the vision and creation of our founding fathers that will stand up to the evil left. They've been going against me for 14 years. They won't succeed. They're going after Giuliani. He's disbarred. They've gone after Senators Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz. They've gone after Kellyanne Conway. They've gone after Jeffrey Clark, a Trump Justice Department official. They've gone after John Eastman, a professor of law at Chapman, who tried to help Trump in the last fraudulent election. And there's no doubt that it was fraud. Look what's going on in Pennsylvania right now, or in California. This is what the Democrats do. They are experts in fraud. They are criminals. And I don't say that in a partisan way because I've gone after Republicans as well. I've held them accountable. George Bush, Dick Cheney, the rest. But the fact is, the Democrat Party is pure evil, and we need to stand up to them. They don't know that they've been defeated yet. They don't know that they're in the ash heap of history. They're coming back. They're blocking already the initiatives of Donald Trump. They're trying to do that with regard to deportations. And you can see the effect with regard to Matt Gaetz just today, forcing his resignation. They'll be in the streets soon. They'll be burning. They'll be vandalizing. They'll be stealing. They'll be maiming, and they'll be killing. Make no mistake about it. The left is at war with us, and they want us dead. They want us dead. We don't want them dead, at least physically. We want them peacefully and legally dead. So they are disassociated and removed from the body politic peacefully and legally so they cannot rise up again. So like a cancer cell, which they are, they cannot grow back. I want you to go to freedomwatchusa.org and contribute to our cause. I know that I've been self-serving in the last 3 podcasts, but there's no one else in this country that has the guts to do it. Freedom Watch and Larry Klayman just don't file Freedom of Information Act requests and get documents that we can hang up on the wall or use to get us on Fox News. We bring hard-hitting cases. We bring citizens' grand juries. We go for the legal and peaceful jugular. These people on the left need to be destroyed before they come back like the Force in Star Wars. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, freedomwatchusa.org. Our fundraising has been down, siphoned off by Republican rhinos in the last election. We lost money last year. We need the help. We need to be bigger. We need to be stronger. We need to be much more aggressive. We need your help. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute with tax-deductible contributions so we can hire more lawyers, paralegals, bring more cases, more citizens' grand juries, and do the job that needs to be done. You can now see that the Trump Justice Department has suffered a setback. Gaetz is out. There's no one really that can go in there that can replace him because the rest of them are a bunch of rhinos. That's what President Trump put in last time. He didn't know it. Jeff Sessions, Bill Barr, they were a disgrace. They ran for the exits. No one else wants the job in the legal profession because lawyers play it safe. They put their own interests ahead of the country. By and large, they only will go so far. Larry Klayman and Freedom Watch will go the distance. We will go the maximum. We cannot let the left rise again. They need to be peacefully and legally destroyed now. Thank you for listening to me. Remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. God bless your entire family this Thanksgiving. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast.